My dad keeps on cursing.
Peter Throbbington was his name.
Oh my god, shut up. Anyway, so we're here going to the McDonald's to get breakfast, and my dad keeps on cussing in all the videos. I try to make him stop, and he won't. He's trying to
Hush! Hush!
Hush! Keep.
I never really killed anybody before. Did you see that movie, Broken Arrow, with John Travolta, when he took that flashlight he had sitting next to, and he caved that guy's throat in with it, and the guy went, and then he just died? He goes, I never really killed anybody like that before. I've dropped bombs on people from an airplane, but never up close like this. I don't know what the big deal is.
Wow, Dad, thank you a lot for giving the very detailed, bloody description to all my viewers. If anybody's squeamish, please just delete this video for
That
my
was a
parents.
good movie.
Okay, yeah, whoever watches that.
And when I got up this morning, that old movie War Games was on, and I watched it with Jeremy. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, we're going to McDonald's to get something to eat.
But they had some really strange 1983 technology. They had TV screens that were the size of that chair. You know, computer monitors that were the size of a small Buick or a Mini.
I mean, that's kind of good. A really big computer screen.
No, these were monochrome screens. They only had green or red copy. They did not have color.
Yeah, you get a point.
Those are monochrome screens when computer technology was in its infancy.
Infancy.
When they were beginning to learn
We're at the
about
McDonald's.
how super thinking computers can work. Well, today we're very much on the edge of AI. But, you know, in 1983, I was 13 years old.
Dude, why are we talking about technology in the middle of a YouTube video?
Well, because it's a lot of your fans are YouTubers, and they might find it interesting to somebody who has a perspective on it, who actually lived during that time.
Yeah, anybody who wants to know.
And everybody who lives in any generation, they all believe that they live in the greatest technology and technologically advanced generation of all time. In the 1980s, we believed that we were at the pinnacle of technology. In the 1990s, we believed we were at the pinnacle of technology. In the 2000s, we thought we were.
No.
Today, we know we are. We at least think we do, more so than at any other point in history since technology really began. You have super 4G LTE smartphones that can do things that were unheard of in 1983.
This is advice for David.
In 1983, the technology, the men went to the moon with a computer that had less computing power than a low-end cell phone. So I guess the point I'm making is that technology is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing, because when you create a machine or a computer that does the work of men or people in general, you take something away from that man or that person. You take away their ability to solve a complicated problem. You know, if you watch the documentary footage from Apollo 13, the mission that exploded in space and very nearly didn't make it home with those 3 astronauts. One of the mission commanders is trying to calculate complex numbers of how they configure their position in a 3-dimensional space. It involves gimbal conversions, roll cal angles, and so forth. He called down and said, I need a check of my arithmetic. And what do the guys in the trenches at NASA do? They take out their slide rules and pencils. And they begin to do those numbers on a slide rule. And then you have 7 guys that go, those are good numbers. Okay, those are good. And the NASA chief says, we're going to go on those numbers. No computer was used to check those numbers. They had 7 PhDs, some of the smartest men on the planet. People do not even think that way anymore. The brain is not being exercised in calculating those numbers. Proof of that. How could we send the Mars rover to Mars back in 97? When it shut its engines off 3,000 feet above the surface and the Martian rover crashed. It was called Pathfinder. Somebody failed to convert foot-pounds and inches into metrics. A simple grade school mistake where the fault, because they were too integrated in things. People weren't thinking. How could we send the Hubble Space Telescope into space without testing its mirror? the lack of gravity environment caused the shape of the lens to change, and it created an aberration and a distortion. It couldn't see even a third of what it was supposed to see at the distance.
Alright, so my dad is really good with technology. He's a sign engineer. Well, not sign engineer.
I would say that's fair. I'm an electrical technician for electronic, neon, and computerized signage.
Call him whenever you have a broken sign. And
some of those signs are hundreds and hundreds of feet in the air on the